So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a very important tip that you should know before you buy your first set of guppies. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video to listen to all the advice that I have to give you. Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keep Fish Simple. So in today's video, I'm giving you guys a tip that I wish I knew before I bought my first set of guppies and before I started breeding them. Now this tip's really useful to be aware of before you buy your first set of guppies. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video to listen to all the advice I'm going to give you guys. And also if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I make heaps of aquarium related information videos as well as some little entertaining ones. So yeah, please consider subscribing. Alright, without any further ado, let's get started on the video. So the tip that I have to give you guys is related to disease. Now disease is a very prominent issue when you're keeping guppies because they are very frail creatures. Guppies are a very hardy fish and they're very, very hard to kill, but they are very frail and their immune systems are often weak. So in water parameters where there's a lot of disease that they're prone to, like intestinal worms and lots of other little internal parasites, they're very prone to get sick and spread that disease, and it's very unlikely that they will heal once they have it. So it's very important that you take into account this factor before you start buying your guppies, because I've known that with most of the guppies that I keep, I love guppies and they're a great fish, but every time I have a colony, I find that at some point down the line, I lose about half my colony to a disease. So there is actually a few things that you can do about it. I've had a lot of struggles with my water in Australia with disease, but there are a few things that you guys can do to make sure that your guppies are safe from disease before you buy them and that they are the strongest. So the first thing is making sure that you buy healthy guppies from the start. So when you're going to your fish store, you're trying to look for guppies that are very round, very plump and very active in the water. Don't buy guppies that are skinny, and don't buy guppies that have little clear tubes coming out of their rear ends, and that's because those tubes are most likely worms, and those worms will kill the guppies and they'll spread to all the other fish in your aquarium and just make a massive mess. So when these fish are imported from countries like Malaysia, it's very likely that these fish will have these diseases in the water. So make sure that you are buying guppies from a healthy spot, preferably another breeder in the aquarium hobby, not a big chain pet store. But if you're buying them from a store, make sure you're buying healthy guppies. And also, that comes to my second piece of advice, and that is making sure that you're not mixing water. So when you buy guppies from a store, make sure that you are not putting that store or that other person's aquarium water into your aquarium. And the easiest way to do that is to acclimate and then use a net and splash out all the water and put your guppies in the aquarium. And that will help also prevent disease in the guppy aquarium. That's very important. We definitely don't want anyone else's water in our aquariums. It's just not safe for our tanks. So the third piece of advice I'm going to give you guys to prevent disease in the aquarium is to feed well. So feeding guppies well will keep their immune systems up, and they'll be able to fight disease better. I've had times where I haven't fed guppies for a while, a couple of days, and they do get a little bit skinnier. That's okay. They will find food in the aquarium, but it does make them a lot weaker and more prone to disease. And I've noticed that when my guppies aren't getting fed as much as they should, they will become a little bit more sick and easier to kill. So make sure that you're feeding your guppies well, and that's a really important tip. So the final tip that I can give you guys to prevent disease and keep your guppies safe before you buy them is to do regular water changes. Regular water changes are super helpful in the whole aquarium hobby. Regular water changes will keep the water as clean as possible and will also keep all those diseases out of the aquarium, because they will not be able to build colonies as quick as they normally would. So that's a really important tip. And I hope you guys have learned something from this. I just wanted to make sure that you're all aware that guppies are quite frail and prone to disease. There's other alternatives to live bearers that will be a lot less prone to getting disease, and those species include like the endlers and the platies. Those are both species that are not as inbred as the guppies and will have a better immune system and are less likely to get sick. But as long as I don't think this is a massive issue, but it does happen to a lot of guppy breeders, and it's happened to me quite a bit. So I hope you guys have learned something from that. On another note, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We've been growing heaps lately. The channel's up to, I think, like 7,500 subscribers at the moment, and it's really awesome. So thank you all for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.